Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, I hope that you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. So we do see here from XRP drops, Medico talk, Ripple partner roll match on tokenization. Let's be honest, the real disruption will come with tokenization, no doubt. Traditional finance, and especially BlackRock, is evangelizing about tokenization. Tokenization is also on the roadmap of roll match. Let's be honest, the real disruption will come with tokenization, no doubt. It takes time, but they will. Medico and roll match are building the rails for tokenization. Everything else is naive. Regulation is important. Most likely, those who are already involved in tokenization will be the first to do so. Now, as I have said many times, you guys probably got tired of me saying it. I sounded like a broken record, but tokenization is truly one of the biggest things that will ever happen around crypto, around traditional finance, around every single sector, every single industry out there. It is your job as a retail investor. I mean, if you really want to get wealthy, if you want to walk out of this market making sure that your children, their children, and many generations after them will never have to worry again, you should be looking into tokenization, diversifying, and investing in the ones that are already involved, already here, building out the rails, and a part of this revolution. Why? Well, because BlackRock and all of these giants, guys, I'm talking about Citi, I'm talking about JP Morgan, I'm talking about Wisdom Tree, I'm talking about all of the biggest names out there, names that every single individual knows about. They are all here, they're all focused on it, and they are all tapped in at a time where the retail sector barely even notices. Guys, 5% of the world is invested into crypto. How many of those people are actually invested into legitimate projects and they're not invested in Dogecoin, SafeMoon, things like that? It's a very small percent. That is why I always say that the new 1% will be made by doing research, understanding how early we are, and understanding how big of an opportunity we actually have in front of us right now. You cannot afford to mess this up. But listen closely.
Given the background in TradFi, we see a lot of the TradFi names, be that Larry Fink or others, evangelizing about tokenization. We'd love to get your views on that and how, does that fit in the roadmap for rule match as well?
Absolutely. I mean, of course, there's also a multifaceted topic. I think first and foremost, sometimes this is black or white view, right? Like blockchain is good and tokenization, crypto not. Of course, we don't share this, right? We do believe that crypto as a class is here to stay, no doubt. At the same time, yes, let's be honest, the real disruption will come with tokenization, no doubt. Financial instruments and so forth, they will be tokenized. It takes time, but they will. And I think what we are now building now, like Metaco, like us, like other players in the market, we are effectively building the rails, right, for tokenization to come. And so, yeah, it will take time. I think everything else is naive. And also, if you really want to replace some existing technology with new, you really need to show that you really make something better, cheaper, quicker, and so forth. It certainly needs to play in the same rules. That's important, right? Regulation, that you do not basically compare apple with oranges here, but you need to make something better. So this takes time. And in our view, of course, tokenization will be massive. And I think we have a bit of a saying. We do believe that those banks and securities firms that trade and are engaged in crypto right now, most likely are those who will be the first to actually also be active in token securities. And I don't talk about pilots. I talk about real world offerings. And I think participants that we know, they of course they have ideas about tokenization. As for rule match, you can imagine, I think, there is of course a perspective when we talk about non-discretionary, when you think about all these principles, all these systems we use, all the effort. You can expect we don't do it only for crypto, but it's not about the time to talk about that as of right now. We focus now on that phase, but certainly we will be prepared.
So again, as you hear these things and you really look at all of the major steps that are being taken by these big traditional financial giants, you really come to the conclusion that, as we really look at how much money is tied to these names and what they're focused on, tokenization, it's the biggest opportunity that we have right now. I'm telling you, everyone has been talking about cross-border payments for so long, right? 156 trillion, 250 trillion by 2027. That is nothing compared to how large the tokenization market will become. When you look at just one market out there, one asset class, guys, they're in the hundreds of trillions of dollars. And guess what? Now we're starting to see the rails being built for tokenization, and that is where things get very, very interesting. Now, like I said, Citi, they are tapped in on tokenization. Now, they are actually doing this with Avalanche, which, by the way, Avalanche is a great project in this space. If you guys haven't already have checked it out, blue chip name, will be around for years to come. Citi is tapped in with them, and it's all around tokenization efforts. Remember, Citi is a big four, and this is actually with the DTCC and even Wisdom Tree. There's a lot going on here, guys. JP Morgan, there's big names. And a lot of people are not looking into this because they don't care to, or they're distracted, or they're focused on things that actually don't matter. Guys, the largest institutions out there are here now. Retail is no longer front-running them. If you have been positioned, if you have been looking into this space, you've been doing your research, you are ahead of, like I said, the 95. I would argue that's probably even 99%. And beyond that, you are also ahead of the institutions. But also, February 12th, network tokenizations for merchants. This is JP Morgan. The key takeaways were, with the rise in digital commerce, customer expectations now demand greater convenience, security, and new ways to pay. JP Morgan and Visa have strengthened the integrity of digital payments with an innovative approach, network tokenization. Network tokens help drive higher approval rates, mitigate fraud, and optimize card not present experiences. And all of this is based around new tokens. They're tokenizing network tokens. They're tokenizing deposit tokens. Guess what? All of that to me sounds like fragmentation. It sounds like there needs to be something in the middle that can actually transact and settle all of these things. And that is where we really kind of look at what can be that big secret bridge currency. And XRP comes to mind. But beyond this, Wisdom Tree highlights asset manager advantages in tokenization usability. This was February 5th. Guys, 2024 is the year these institutions really start to jump on tokenization. 2023, we heard it every single week. Tokenization, tokenization, tokenization. And now they're here. And they are putting a spotlight on tokenization. And I just recently put out a post regarding this. I said, if you are sitting here and you are not bullish at a time where all the largest banks are tapping into tokenization endeavors, then you are not focused on what matters. These are names your family, your friends, everyone knows, and they are here embracing the technology. Some of them have been here for years and years. Retail has their focus clouded. You can have your short-term positions locked in and make money, but make sure to focus on long-term too, because guess what? That is where the wealth will come. That is where the greatest wealth will be achieved. The next 50 to 100 years of finance will be dominated by these new technologies. Lock yourselves in and put some time in to really understand how big of an opportunity this is. And yes, I've said it time and time again in the past. Guys, we're talking about disrupting quadrillions of dollars. Think about that for a second. Quadrillions of dollars. Most people can't even fathom how much $1 trillion is, let alone quadrillions. That is what we stand to ultimately achieve in this space, is quadrillions of dollars eventually moving on digital rails. And I do believe that it will happen. It's not going to happen overnight, but in time, yes, we will slowly start to see a lot of that money trickle in. And remember, right? All it takes is one big name to start tokenization efforts heavily. And that could immediately lead to trillions of dollars on chain. But also, a lot of these events, right? For an example, the Digital Euro Conference, February 29th. Ripple is a gold sponsor at this Digital Euro Conference in Frankfurt, February 29th. And guess what? The overall conversation here is when the rubber meets the road. Real world impact of CBDCs. But beyond that, look at the other talking subjects, right? A lot of it is CBDCs and tokenization efforts regarding stablecoins and even commercial bank money tokens. But you also have the digital euro being discussed, CBDCs in general, stablecoins and commercial bank money tokens, CBDCs, stablecoins, and CBMTs. And when you look at some of these talking subjects, you have tokenized deposits versus deposit tokens. You have DLT pilot regimes, US dollar stablecoins, cross-border payment use cases, CBDC with digital ID, AI, cross-border payments, geopolitics, CBDC lessons learned and adoption strategies. Guys, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here in terms of these discussions. And you know what it takes me back to? It takes me back to this that got announced in January. The BIS announces CBDC tokenization projects for 2024. 6 new projects. Guys, all of these are regarding CBDCs, tokenization efforts, and a lot of the names tied to this are led right back to Ripple. And do I even need to tell you that Ripple recently joined the BIS for the CPMI back in the summer of 2023? These connections are so significant. And what's even crazier is look at this. November 28th, IMF, World Bank, the BIS collaborating on uses of tokenization. Guys, these are 3 of the largest organizations around finance. They are moving very, very fast. You need to open your eyes to how significant these moves actually are and where XRP and Ripple stand in the equation. Just like we heard over here, those that are already involved in tokenization will be the first to do so. They are going to see the most amount of demand initially. And that's where Ripple and XRP really have a major advantage over the market. Not to mention, XRP does have clarity. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.